Before Taylor North was created in 2020, Little League Baseball in Taylor was traditionally operated out of 4 distinct organizations. Little League probably touched the lives of more people in this community than any other entity. But changing times call for major shifts, which is exactly what happened when Taylor Northwest, Taylor North Central, and Taylor Northeast merged into a single and more powerful entity. The result was a bigger and better baseball organization, one that not only would produce the 2021 Little League World Series champion, but spin off dozens of teams at different age levels who were able to compete at the highest levels of the sport. When you worked so hard to get this merger done a few years ago, did you ever think you'd have this type of success with this type of following?
It's, no, I'd like to say yes, we thought it would be this successful. To be very honest with you, we sat down and we had the conversation. Eric Hall and myself had a conversation early on that we both were having, our leagues were having success at the local level, district level. We'd always face off against one another, beat up on each other, and one of us would emerge and go to a state tournament only to get beat at state tournament, missing that 1 or 2 pieces. So what Rick and Guido were able to get together early on when there was Taylor Northwest and Taylor North Central and Taylor Northeast, they went through and the kids were 9 years old and said, hey, we want to get this group of kids together to play some tournaments to see how they would do. Then at that point, you got to have everybody else kind of buy into it. But getting the merger done was key. The first process was very difficult to get everybody in a room, make concessions and change things, but the end result, we couldn't ask for better. It's been phenomenal.
You know, I think probably the teamwork and the cooperation was at an all-time high. I think it's the start of what's going to be a very good and very long and very prosperous relationship that, you know, not only will Heritage Park be good for all of the Taylor kids that participate each year, but it's going to be a relationship that's great for the World Series as well.
The host format of the Junior League World Series, that's really turned out rather amazing. What's your take on it?
The host format, meaning that we have a host team
Yes.
in the Junior League World Series. Nobody really knew how that was going to go when Little League decided, hey, Taylor should, the District 5 champion should be the 6th team in the World Series for the Americans. They already had 6 teams for the international group. They needed to even it up. So they said, okay, District 5, which is Taylor and surrounding communities that have Little League, you guys will have a tournament and the winner will be the host team. They're also the Michigan District 5 champions, so it could be any team that's within District 5 that wins it this year, last year, the year before. It's been Taylor, and it's been fantastic, especially when it comes to crowds.
I think from every aspect, the concern whenever you have a host team is saying that the team doesn't deserve to be there. I think just the opposite. I think a lot of these teams, if they went on from our district tournament to play in an actual state or regional, this team would have come back. We feel they're very confident that they were the best team to represent not just us, but the Central region. But what it's done is it made it very exciting for a lot of, not just Taylor North, but District 5 leagues. They look at that regional tournament that we have every year at District 5 now as an opportunity to catapult their league into the public eye and to, you know, and actually make their league better because of it. It's made a lot of excitement, brought a lot of excitement to the city of Taylor, to the World Series. Crowds are phenomenal. A lot of people that didn't even know the World Series has been here are now excited about it because they have a chance to watch local players be there.
It's great. You know, I think we started this back in 2018, 18, 19, 22, and 23, and it really built the local interest. It not only gave local kids an opportunity to compete for a world championship, but I think opened the eyes to a lot of people in Taylor and downriver that the tournament exists, that it's a fun event to attend, and you know, whether it's to come watch the international teams or root for the hometown kids, it you know, has really added a local interest, and you know, that can be seen throughout the crowds we've experienced the past few years.
Chapter 1, a bye and an old foe. After drawing a bye in the first round of the 2023 Junior League World Series, it was ironic that Taylor North opened the tourney with Honolulu, Hawaii, the West Regional Champion. 2 years ago, in the 2021 Little League World Series, the Taylor North and Hawaii split a pair of tight games during the Michigan team's run to the world title. During a 3-1 victory this time around, Taylor North starting pitcher Jacob Furcus was helped by some great defense behind him. 2 double plays and a key force out, all started by shortstop Lucas Farner, along with the relief pitching of Cam Thornton. Let's roll off the top here. You guys received a bye in the opening round, didn't play until round 2 on Monday of World Series week. You ended up with Honolulu, of all the teams, representing the West region, and that was a matchup of 2 teams that had split games in the Little League World Series 2 years ago in Williamsport. What was going through your mind when you found out it was Honolulu, of all teams?
I was kind of excited because we got to play them in Little League, and I knew they wanted to beat us this time, so I knew there was some kind of like rivalry. And so I knew it was going to be a good game, but we ended up coming out on top.
What was going through your mind when you found out it was Honolulu?
Man, it was pretty cool, man. I knew half of the team from 2021. It was cool. Seeing the coaches knew who I was.
Kind of neat.
Yeah, for sure.
The center fielder for Hawaii, his name is Micah. We played against him in 21. The kid is phenomenal, great athlete. And the first night Hawaii got here, I walked up to him and I knew who he was, and I walked up to the group of kids and I said, you know, you guys remember Taylor North, right? And they were laughing, and I said, who was playing center field the first game we played that robbed Cameron of the home run? And they said that was Micah, and I said, you're my least favorite player here. And he just looked at me, and then he started busting out laughing, and I was joking with him, but what a great group of kids. That Hawaii team, respectful, the families, the coaches, top tier program, they're amazing. So I loved interacting with the kids like that. It was great.
So a good way to respond here for the host team. Lucas Farmer able to convert that double play. There's 2 away. So the run will come in, but Farmer able to limit the damage here. Hit to the shortstop, double play potential. Oh, it's thrown into right field. Ball gets away, a run is in. Make it 2 coming in here for Michigan. Now Ethan Van Bell's turn. Van Bell laying down a bunt. Another run comes in. Good job, a small ball right there as Ethan Van Bell with a sacrifice bunt. The bunt, a true weapon here in Junior League. But Tuck Young did not have a play at home. Had to get the force at first. Another 3-2 offering. Hit hard to the shortstop. Tough play, trying to get the force at second. Oh, wow. How did Lucas Farner make that happen? Sometimes you'll watch these young men, and you got to remind yourself they're only 14 years old. Got him. Cam Thornton able to do the job. Michigan able to hold their ground on their home field. A 3-1 victory over Hawaii.
Chapter 2, rinse, reload, and repeat. In the 3rd round of play, Taylor's second game, the host team knocked off Hillsdale, New Jersey in another 3-1 decision. Starting pitcher Jackson Surma, working out of early trouble, finished 4 strong innings before handing off to Lucas Farner, who served as the late reliever role. At the plate, Ethan Van Bell drilled a key late inning RBI single. Let's jump to the USA East game, okay, which was New Jersey. They were representing the East region. They handed you the ball to start the game, okay? You had some trouble early. You were in a bit of a jam. Can you tell us about that?
So I was trying to hit my spots. I really couldn't find the zone. Got bases loaded, but got out of it. It was a tough situation, but somehow I got through it.
Once you got through it, you seemed to really settle down. You pitched very well.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, between that and Farner behind you, you guys really shut their
Yeah, we started hitting our spots. I kind of got a groove and got through 4, which is what we needed.
Is that what the plan was?
Yeah, just I needed to get through 4 innings and then have Lucas go the rest.
Coaches went with Jackson Surma, followed by Lucas Farner on the mound. Other than a little trouble early, they pitched well.
Yeah.
Were you guys really confident behind them? Because you started to get deep into your pitching staff.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they were good. They were a good team. I knew that pitcher they had, he was going to throw really good because he threw the other game, I think, was the first game against South Carolina. Yeah, I knew he was going to have a good fastball and stuff like that. Yeah.
I know Jackson early in that game faced a little bit of trouble. I think it was in the first or second inning.
Yeah, it was the first inning. He had bases loaded, I believe. Yep.
Nervous out there or pretty confident?
I was just playing my game.
That's all that counts.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, did you guys ever feel like you were not in control of that game against the East?
No, well, I thought we had it the whole game, yeah.
For him, and it makes it 1-0 Michigan. Hometown crowd loves it. Fastball down the middle. Jackson Surma didn't miss it. It's going to be 10-11-1 due up in the New Jersey batting order. First pitch swinging Justin Morgan off the pitcher. Surma down to throw to first. The stretch was there. Max LaForest able to keep the foot on the bag for the first out of the inning. This one was hit pretty hard off of the pitcher, Surma, but he was able to stick with it, locate it, throw over to first, get some help out from his teammate as well. Great stretch by LaForest there. Frankie asking for it up, gets it there, and it's taken out to right field. Tommy Eichner is there to drop it. And now the throw back to first. So, mistake in the outfield for New Jersey allows the second run of the game to come in to score. Chauncey Atkins touches home. He did everything right. Just off the heel of the glove there for Tommy. Runner taken off down to second. The throw goes there from Cam Thornton, and they got a run down. And that's going to be close. I believe the run came across to score first. So Frankie Gravina was able to draw the throw down to second. New Jersey gets a run across. Line drive to left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Cam Thornton's going to score easily on an RBI base hit for Ethan Van Bell. He'll go up to second base. It's 3-1 Michigan. He got it done on the mound of the Little League World Series. Here at the plate, able to score another run for Michigan. The throw comes in from Galucci. And a curveball hit to the ground, second base. Ulin throws to first, that'll do it. Michigan advances to the U.S. Championship game tomorrow on a final score of 3-1 over New Jersey.
Chapter 3, it felt good. The two victories put Taylor North in the United States Championship game against Irma, South Carolina. The game was played before upwards of 5,000 people. The attendance was announced as the largest in the history of the tournament, dating all the way back to 1981. And no one from Taylor went away disappointed. Taylor North jumped out to a 2-0 lead behind RBI from Lucas Farner and Cole Boyke, and appeared to be in command with Jacob Farkas on the mound. But a botched rundown led to a 2-2 tie and set up what would be a memorable walk-off finish. After reliever Cam Thornton got out of a jam in the top of the 7th with a wicked curveball, Max LaForest drove home Jackson Surma with a walk-off sacrifice fly to set off a wild celebration and a 3-2 win. But none of it was easy.
Here's the 0-2 from Farkas, and it's golfed out to right field. Chauncey Atkins ranging over, and he makes the catch in right center for the second out of the inning. And Cooper Derrick with the payoff. Swung on and lined into left field for a base hit. One out single for Cole Boyke, second hit of this week. Second baseman for South Carolina tonight. He's got 3 hits this week, and he's swinging away first pitch. Flared out to shallow right, and back to grab it is Gavin Ulin, the second baseman. Here comes the 0-2, and a curveball that doesn't drop. Going up to second base is Noah Bourne. He'll be there safely as the throw goes into center field. 3 innings. And he lines one out to center field. Chase Ellis charging in. It's going to drop in front of him. Noah Bourne being waved around. Here's the throw home. Not in time. Michigan scores a run. Up to second base goes Lucas Farner. It's 1-0. RBI. This one is hit into right field, a base hit. Now turn the Jets on is Lucas Farner. Here's the play at the plate. He will score. It's 2-0 Michigan. Back-to-back RBI base hits for Lucas Farner and Cole Boyke. 95 pitch maximum. They'll face Noah Bourne here, and he rips one through the left side into left field. 1 out single for Noah Bourne. That's his first hit of the Junior League World Series. He can get it. Hit on the ground towards third. Backhand stop by Surma. To his feet. In time. What a play at the hot corner. Of the at-bat coming. And Gravel swings and misses. Tag applied to the plate by Van Bell. Today at the plate. He's 0 for 2. But he's made a couple of good defensive plays at third. And he lines one into left field for a base hit. Michigan gets the leadoff runner aboard in the bottom of the 7th. Surma not going. This one hit on the ground towards first. Followed by Grillett. Nobody covering. First and second, nobody out from... And the 0-1 pitch. Driven out to left. Out there is Cooper. Derrick makes the catch. Tagging up from third is Surma. Headfirst dive. Michigan on to the title game tomorrow. Well, if you think we had a packed house tonight, just hang around and come back at noon tomorrow to see how ruckus this crowd is going to be with Michigan in Chinese Taipei.
Eventually, you load the bases with 1 out, and Max LaForest is at the plate. How confident were you at that point that you were going to score?
I was very confident. Max had been hitting the ball hard the whole game. Even though he didn't have a hit, he was just hitting it hard. So I knew when he hit it, I just had to tag up and try and score.
I felt good. I was happy. I was happy for that moment. I was ready for it, yeah.
When you hit the ball, you seemed to know right away that the game was over.
Yes, sir. Yes,
No
sir.
doubt?
Yep. No
Arms
doubt.
in the air, and you're waiting for the crowd,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
I got to tell you, the end of the U.S. Championship game, when Max LaForest, who's one of our absolute favorite kids, when he hit the ball, and you know that it's going to be a successful sacrifice fly, but if you watch the video when Max is running the first base, the sheer elation, and then Rick Thorning turning around and bending down and punching the ground out of excitement, just overall seeing how everybody reacted, I think the overall moment was just exhilarating for everybody involved. It was awesome.
Where were you sitting or standing when that happened?
Center field, definitely standing up. We have an area where all the Taylor North officials were out there, but it was, and then the walk from center field to get up there to celebrate with the kids was one of the most awesome experiences for all of us. It was great.
It's easy to get caught up in that. The energy of the crowd, you start to feed on it a little bit. Everything in game, for the most part, we're pretty collective. We communicate great. We've been doing this together now. It seems, doesn't seem like a long time to a lot of people, but 7, 8 summers. So we know each other well, tendencies well, we balance each other out. We always say, hey, if you see me getting a little excited, calm me down, and it's reciprocated back, so that way the decisions that are made aren't knee-jerk and just trying to respond to something in a quick fashion instead of thinking it through. But we did get emotional. We got caught up. I mean, the joke goes, Corey said his jaw got dislocated in the celebration after we won the U.S. side. I guess I didn't realize. I rushed down. We had a little crowd first base side where everybody greeted Max, and he claims, I still don't think I did. He said I caught him with a clothesline right in the jaw. But I think he's healed up now. He's okay.
Chapter 4, A Hurdle Too Large. Taylor North's 3-game streak through the United States bracket set the stage for a noon showdown with Chinese Taipei for the Junior League World Series Championship. The Asian Pacific Region champions had lost a 2-1 game to open the tournament against Puerto Rico on a walk-off suicide squeeze play, but then rallied for 4 straight victories by a combined score of 34-3. Their momentum wouldn't fade in the finals as they cruised to a 6-0 win. Until someone says otherwise, Chinese Taipei remains the big fish in the Junior League World Series pond. Teams from Taiwan have won 9 titles beginning in 2010.
Played, but that's it. 9 runs total. Center field going back is Furcus. It's over his head. Thorning running Liu back, and the tag applied. Caught him between third and home. Who will come to the plate?
You are explosive.
That one dumped into left, waving around. Pong. Here's the play at the plate. Pushed up the middle for Michigan. Deep left field going back at the wall. Furcus. Ho Chung Woo, a championship game.
Sam. Another big swing of the bat.
And he lifts this. Furcus now coming in. And he makes the catch. Test Chung. Throw is cut off. And a long. Didn't allow a run. Coaches say he's got a great off-speed pitch as well. And this time at the plate, he lines one into left field. Wong is trying to come in to score. The throw cut off. It's
Outfields, but
that'll do it. Liner to shortstop. 75 pitches for Chi-Su Huang in a shutout. 6-0. Chinese Taipei wins their 9th Junior League World Series title.
What is the secret to Chinese Taipei's success in this tournament?
Just a well-oiled machine. You know, the discipline is phenomenal.
I'd have to say discipline.
Discipline.
What Jeff had talked about with discipline.
You got to go with just discipline.
I've been picking them up since day one when they come in on the airport. They come in single file, they line their suitcases up the same way. And then that reflects on in the batting cages, the practice field, and then obviously on the field.
It's just amazing to watch them. He sees them getting off the airplane and marching like little soldiers. The first time we see them is when they come into the stadium for the opening ceremonies, and it's the same thing. They come in 2 by 2. It's just amazing to see how they work in unison, which means the same. As that being said, they play the same way.
Everything they do, from warm-ups to the calisthenics before the game to the infield to taking swings in the batting cage, is just very disciplined, very structured, and they execute everything perfectly.
Execution, they go in with a game plan, and whether it's making plays on defense, being in the right spot defensively, executing the squeeze, double steals, they execute to perfection, and I think the record speaks for itself.
They play such a great game. The thing I love about them is they don't, unlike the 12-year-olds this year, they had a dominant pitcher that, watching the Little League in Williamsport, but this year they challenge teams to say, go ahead and hit it, and they make the play.
Right.
And in the 12-year-old situation this past week, you saw Chinese Taipei make multiple errors, which you just don't hardly ever see, and they are a very disciplined team. They go out there and they just play routine baseball to a T, and it's impressive to watch. It's frustrating from a fan, point, but you got to hand it to these kids. They just play great disciplined baseball. They make every play, they make every throw, they hit the ball well, they bunt in situations, they get the bunt down, and it's just, they play mistake-free baseball. And these kids are 13. That's pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive.
You know, I would be remiss if we didn't talk. This is the first time that Taylor North has been the host organization. Taylor South was for 40 years. People behind the scenes who went above and beyond. I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but you want to mention some people?
Nicole Honeycutt, our concession stand crew all together. Our concession stand managers, you know, Jamie Bays, my wife Sherry Cloutier, Nicole Honeycutt, Elena Hall, Crystal Thompson, Katie Capabianco, Lynn Wilson, the stand managers, Nikita Harris, you know, the women that were there day in and day out, Dana Carey, you know, these people that show up and they put their time and effort in, even if their kids aren't playing, and they're taking time out of their work schedule, taking vacation days to come do this. That place was humming and was busy, and we had volunteers stepping up that aren't board members, coming in there working 8-10 hour days for us in the stand, cooking on the grill. Mark and Nick McEwen were there every day cooking on the grill for us. Pat Bomia, I could go through the whole list. Glenn Saharsky, our entire board of directors stepped up and showed out, and so you can't thank them enough. And if I forgot any of you, I really apologize. You know, I got love for all of you.
You know, volunteers they make this tournament. They are the ones that make this tournament, you know, and it's so great to see coming together. And, you know, after it becomes a long week, and I think they get on each other's nerves after a while, but to see them all pull together and everybody work together, because I think everybody in the city of Taylor and people that come in from other states, you know, and other cities, once they get here, they realize we're here for a cause, and they knock it out. They just knock it out of the park. It was great to see. You know, I try to talk to some of the families, you know, and stuff, and nothing but great reviews, and they all really enjoyed their time here, you know, and was looking forward to going, absolutely, going downtown, checking out, you know. Fortunately, the Tigers were gone most of this week, you know, so I don't think a lot of them were able to get to a Tiger game, but I know they always try that and stuff. But
what a great partnership between the volunteers for the World Series and the city of Taylor. The Parks and Rec crew, I mean, we obviously take care of Heritage Park 12 months out of the year, but you know, their assistance in helping put this tournament on is you know, it means everything to us, and we really couldn't put on the production that we do without them. But I've long said the World Series is an economic engine, not just for Taylor, not just for downriver, but Southeast Michigan. Teams that come in that want to go to Detroit, they want to go to Ann Arbor, they want to visit the sights and sounds outside of the city of Taylor, and all of that economic activity only happens because we're bringing teams here for the Junior League World Series. So, you know, we continue to work with partners in Wayne County and in Lansing and, you know, the Visitors Bureau, etc., to show that, you know, not only do we want to put on a great product and welcome the world to Taylor, but make sure people understand that they're not only coming to visit Taylor, but Metro Detroit and Southeast Michigan. And I think the amount of people and the amount of money that could spent, we should pay attention to what that could mean to the economy here in Southeast Michigan.
The story of the relatively new Taylor North Little League has been growing with every baseball season. Is this Junior League World Series some type of icing on the cake? Is it just another step forward? How would you play it into everything else that's happening?
So this year alone, Taylor North had 2 teams playing the World Series. Our intermediate team made it out to California to play there, represented us well. They did very well along the way. Our senior baseball team was within 1 game from going to the Senior World Series. And then this team winning the U.S. Championship at the Junior League World Series was definitely the icing on the cake for this year. The awesome part about Taylor North and our volunteers, from the board to every coach there, they want to grow on every experience, and they want to have the success that our team from 21 had, and they want to build on that. So players, the kids, the families, they see what's been done, and they want to experience that themselves. So I think it was the icing on the cake for 23, but not for what's coming from Taylor North.
And I don't say this to discredit ourselves. Like, I was bummed we didn't win. You know, we had one mission that we really were focused on, and we set out, and we came up a little short. And it stings a little bit, but it doesn't take away from what the bar we've set. And this is going back to 2021 and before that. I've always said this group is a little different, not different in a bad way, but different in a special way. And it played out in front of people in 2021, and it played out in front of people in the hometown in 2023. We set a bar that we feel others can follow, and hopefully within our community know it's obtainable now. We don't have to settle just to be a district level team. We don't have to settle to just be okay at the state level. We are we compete for world titles now. That's the bar we've set, and I hope those coming behind us know it's obtainable, and all they have to do is look at the kid who just exited the field that'll sit there and talk with them and share those experiences with them. But it doesn't happen just because you want it to happen. As anyone says, anything worthwhile, if everybody could do it, everybody would do it. It's going to take a lot of time, effort, off-season work, in-season work. It just takes a major commitment if you want to get that high on the mountain.
We got a little help from Romulus
Yeah.
during the Junior League World Series. Can you explain that?
Yeah, it kind of worked out good. We were up at the Mackinac Island Conference, and we stayed in the same hotel as Mayor McRae from Romulus, and I believe he's in economic development now, Kevin Kraus. And Dan was talking about that we were having a little bit of a situation with hotels this year because the hotel we normally used had closed down. It was nice. Kevin jumped on it and said, hey, I think we might be able to help you here. They had a lot of good relationships with a lot of the hotel owners over in Romulus, and I know they were really excited to help, and they were happy to be a part of the team.
Favorite player all time?
A lot of people will say it was Patrick Mahomes. Patrick played here with Tyler, Texas in the 2010 Junior League World Series. They didn't win that year, but they put on a good show. They made it to the finals before losing to Chinese Taipei. And Patrick was here with his parents. His dad, Pat Mahomes, was a pitcher for the Yankees at one point. Very personable people. Who knew that Patrick would go on to become what he has become, which is one of the most famous people in the National Football League. So we've gotten a lot of good press because he played here. He's helped build the image of that. A lot of people don't know that he played baseball until you tell them, and then you say, wow, he was in Taylor, that's awesome. Another one of my favorites, and I don't know, you remember the teams that stand out. The 2002 world champions from Cartersville, Georgia. This is gonna sound weird, but they were so polite. The boys were ready when they got here. They were, yes sir, no ma'am, that kind of thing. And I liked them a lot. Their manager has come back a couple times because he had such a good time here, and he's thrown out the first pitch at games. And actually Taylor, a couple years later, Taylor was a finalist for the All-America City Award, and they held the event in Atlanta. And on the way to Atlanta, you hit Cartersville, and we spent the night at Cartersville on the way to Atlanta. People were fantastic to us.
In the U.S. title game between South Carolina and Taylor, South Carolina called for replay in the bottom of the seventh when Max LaForest fouled off a squeeze bunt. Did they think he was out of the box? And how is replay handled?
The question was, actually they challenged it twice. The first challenge was he in the box or not, which is unreviewable. The second challenge was, did the ball hit the bat, or did the bat hit the ball in fair territory? And there's a little bit to that. By rule, if the bat is stationary and the ball hits it, it's play on, it's a live ball. If the ball is stationary and the bat rolls into it, now it's a foul ball, or if it's out of the box, it's interference, and we're not going to allow that to happen. But that is also unchallengeable. So the process is that the umpires would first of all get together, and if they can't come up with a solution, then the coach would ask for a challenge. The challenge process would be that the home plate umpire would get on the headset with Williamsport and ask the question that the coach/manager had posed, and if it is a challengeable request, then the video replay staff would look at the play and make a determination whether the call is upheld or it's overturned. In those two cases, they are challenges that, or they are questions that are not challengeable. For whatever reason, Williamsport has determined that those are not challengeable questions. Then it's just play on. The manager is not charged with a challenge, so he has whatever successful challenges remaining. He goes forward with them.
Me and my dad were presenting the trophy and the banner to the U.S. champion. He's 85. There was a big crowd there, so I had to get him up a couple innings early. He stopped and talked to everybody on the way there, so I keep dragging him, and then finally when Taylor did win with the walk-off sac fly in the seventh, went down there, presented the trophy, and then Corey Farner, one of the coaches, I coached him over 20 years ago. And I was next to him, he put his arm around me, and I was Facebook famous because of Dave.
Did your dad get a chance to come out?
Every day.
Every day?
Every day, you know, pushing 86 years old, climbing the stairs of the press box is always a challenge, and every day made it out to the tournament and was able to take it all in, soak it up, and I know he had a good time. And I know he's proud of the volunteer group that, you know, him and the likes of Sam Pizzo and George Glick and Jim Seacott and Orland King, the guys that really laid the groundwork to make this happen. I think for him to sit back and see what the tournament continues to do and what it's grown into, I know he's a very happy man.